Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Cogan, founder of Eliances.
Well, what a morning it has been. I mean, we had the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the founder on the air. We had Land O'Lakes and Purina Chief Operating Officer on. She runs an $8 billion company. We just had three-time All-Star first baseman, Boston Red Sox, Mo Vaughn. Now, with our final hero for today, make sure you listen real careful because I'll tell you, you're going to learn a lot about what goes on in the real world. All right? Very important. He is the owner of Tacville Training Center. Now, they specialize in immersive military training for law enforcement, military, and also responsible citizens. And with that, we have the founder, Rigo Durazo. Rigo, tell us about Tacville and why it's so special.
Yes, it's a laboratory. We call it combat geometry. We created an environment where we can take people, especially law enforcement, and put them in situations where they can be tested on some of their theories. They get training at the academy or they go to outside training, and yet they don't really know if this works for them or not. So we also study behavior patterns, what their training scars may produce somewhere else down the line. So to us, it's a great laboratory for learning.
Now, you've trained over 100 agencies in law enforcement.
Yes.
What do your services offer, though? Tell me a little bit more in detail, because when we think, okay, other agencies, they've gone through the academy, they've gone through the training there and stuff, I just don't understand then why they would use your services.
Honestly, that's where I was actually confused myself. Why would they go to me? But as I become part of this community and you start, you take yourself from a civilian, you start looking in, you start realizing they're actually not very well trained. It's one of the things that I got involved with law enforcement to see that they have a little bit of training. They don't have resources at a national epidemic. And so we assume that they have the best of the best of the best, but they're actually taught at reactive levels where they're only trying to plug in the mistakes or any kind of holes that they did 5 or 10 years ago. So they're always behind the curve.
Now, I've visited your facility. Again, you can go to Tacville.com, Tacville.com, or Eliances.com to learn more. We'll have his information there. I've been to your facility with my son, and I mean, I got to tell you, this, to try and describe it is almost impossible. But if you can think of just a gigantic facility with, I mean, it's not paintball by any means. It's a huge adrenaline rush. I mean, you feel like you are there. I wouldn't call it virtual reality. You are in the reality. How do you get civilians prepared for what they may encounter at your facility?
Well, one of the things is we made sure the civilians were a big part of this community because without their help, the resources for law enforcement wouldn't exist. So early on, we made sure that there was a civilian component to the training. So we create missions for them. We give them an experience. It's not necessarily gameplay. It's more of an experience of learning. They have to problem solve as a group. They have to actually communicate with other people. And in today's world, a lot of people don't have that social skills to actually talk to one another and actually design a plan and actually problem solve. There is failures and there's also success. So you kind of get a lot of that just by going in there and learning how to work together.
Now, what's incredible is that each of these sessions that you do at your place for the civilian side that my son and I did, each one lasts, I think, about 6 minutes, and they're different missions. Can you just briefly describe a few of those missions?
Yeah, one of the basic missions is basically we call a terrorist hunt. You learn how to work together as a team. We put some guys out there, and you're going to have an adrenaline rush of trying to solve problems. You're tasked with a mission to go either protect something or go move. We have other missions that are attack and defend as far as like protecting the embassy. You have to protect the embassy with multiple engagements. We have bomb disarming. We have... basically, incredible. We have a lot. Yeah, we have a lot for you.
Now, here's something that's interesting, too, is you are getting very popular within the business community, within companies and stuff. Why?
Because this became also a resource for team building and companies who look at this as, hey, we want some of your instructors who are, I call them heroes. They're guys who've been there, done that. We give them life lessons of what we do to manage stress, how to work together, how to problem solve, and then we can bring them in and show them how they can obviously work together and have an experience.
Now you're listening to Heroes in Business with me, David Cogan. Go to where entrepreneurs align. Be part of the community. Eliances.com. That's ELIANCES.com, where you may have the chance to be on our Heroes in Business show. And we have Rigo Durazo, owner, founder of Tacville.com. You got your start, though, in this industry through a well-known connection. Is that correct?
Yeah, he kind of looked at me and told me it's time to get involved.
Can you share with us who this person is?
Yeah, he was a friend of mine named Chris Kyle. Everybody knows him as the American Sniper. I met him as just regular Chris, and he said, hey, I had a talent to help this community. Not being a law enforcement military, I thought I was an outsider. He told me I had a talent for sharing some of the technology I did have. And then he really pushed it by saying, you're doing a country a disservice by not sharing. And so ever since then, I've used that as my motto. So it's my job to get involved. And so,
how important is it for civilians to be trained to go through your program? I mean, we all think, you know what, we have the police, we have other protection stuff, but why is it so important?
Well, first of all, empowering yourself to have an education in anything gives you the ability not to stay in a state of fear. Fear controls a lot of things for us. It makes us make mistakes and we prejudge. But having an education is always the first thing. But the average time, if you do have to call for law enforcement, is about a 5-minute wait. That's a long time. So the first responder, even though we call it the law enforcement, is actually you. The first responder is the first person there on scene. It may be another civilian. So I've always had that personal, even though I've never been law enforcement, I've always looked at myself as a person who hunted bullies. So if you were there, I'm going to stop you. And so I've always been prepared.
You started Tacville too, I think it's important to say, with your wife. How is it working with a family member, and what advice do you have for other businesses that are considering or thinking of working with a family member?
You have to know your roles. She does things that I'm not good at all. I don't try to micromanage at all. She makes me better because she allows me to have passion in what I do. She handles the logistics. I handle the, I call it the artistry of the education, because there is an art to education. So when we deal with alpha type people, male and female, you have to learn how to mold them, coach them, and that's what I kind of do now. I kind of am a mentor for guys who are coming in from the military or law enforcement. I teach them from going to go from instructor to coach, and actually.
That's amazing, amazing. Well, you make sure you check it out. My son and I plan on going again, hopefully this weekend, because it is just something to go through. It's something to see. I mean, you are there. I mean, it doesn't even compare to virtual reality or video games or anything like that, paintball. I mean, it is intense. And a shout out to Christina Jones, incredible human. She's an Eliances member, and she nominated you to be on this show. So super, super thanks to her. And I got to tell you, Rigo, you train those who have to make hard decisions daily. You know, you prepare civilians for situations they never hope to have to face, but may. A hero is one who knows what to do in the face of adversity and shares that knowledge with others. That's a hero. That's Rigo Durazo. Go to Tacville.com or Eliances.com. This is David Cogan. Thank you again.
You have been listening to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. Eliances is the destination for entrepreneurs, investors, CEOs, inventors, leaders, celebrities, and startups. To present your superpower, visit www.Eliances.com. To unmask Eliances Heroes' secret identities, be sure to tune in every Thursday at 9 a.m. right here on Money Radio 1510 and 99.3 FM.